I have one addition, 6.4, which is the CWRG grant approval. Somebody like to move as amended?
Move as amended.
All in favor? That's carried. We have the June 22nd public hearing minutes. Seconder?
Second.
All in favor? Carried. We have the June 22nd regular council meeting minutes.
Adopt.
All in favor? Carried. And lastly, we have the June 30th Centennial Committee meeting minutes for adoption. All in favor? And those are carried. 4.1 zoning amendment bylaw for adoption. Do you want William to talk to it, or it's been for 3 readings so far?
So it's for third and adoption.
Sorry, third and adoption.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Right, with that, we'll move on to 5.1, and I'll pass it over to you, Mayor Holmes.
Okay, thank you, Your Worship. I think I can share my screen. Not sure exactly how I do that. I think you have to let me to. I think you have to allow me to.
If you go,
No?
if on your team screen, if you go to the top right, the second to last
Oh,
icon says
right.
share.
Okay.
Click that, and then your PowerPoint should pop up in one of those windows that come up.
Okay, let's try this one.
There you go.
You've got it.
Perfect. Okay, good. So thanks for having me present here. I've been going around to different municipalities making the same presentation. And so what you see here is a picture of Summerland. And you can see in that photo, you know, we have these kind of mountains that kind of grow out of nowhere, which you can't develop on. And then there's little bits of places where we can develop. And then most of the land, as you see in the forefront there, is agricultural land. So last year we collected $12.5 million in property taxes. And of that, only $660,000 came from lands in the agricultural land reserve. And of that, only 64,000 were class 9. So basically 0.5% of all the taxes we collect is class 9. We did an analysis, and it cost us to provide services to properties in the ALR. It cost us about $2 million. And that's been steadily increasing over the years. So last year, 24, it cost us $1.9 million and $1.6 million in 23. So it's just, there's different ways to calculate what it costs, and I'll get into that in a bit. But basically, for every dollar in property tax that we collect from land in the ALR, it costs us more than $3 to service that land. And that ratio is increasing as infrastructure costs increase more in proportion to the taxes. We don't really have much industry in Summerland. So that means that servicing farmland is being paid for by our residential taxpayers. Now, we've been advocating to the government for many years about this thing and this problem, and they keep kind of bouncing us around between Ministry of Municipal Affairs, Finance, and Agriculture. Last year at UBCM, we had a really positive meeting, probably for the first time, with Finance Minister Bailey and the Finance Ministry staff about it. We discussed different ways to help farming municipalities alleviate those revenue shortfalls so that we can do a better job of providing infrastructure to our agricultural properties. And we went away, and they said, well, submit us a proposal, which we did in December, this past December. We submitted a proposal which we called the Agricultural Municipality Initiative, and it's modeled on the Resort Municipality Initiative, which was established in 2006. And don't know if you're familiar with the resort municipalities. There's 14 of them in BC, and and together they receive $13 million a year to help manage their infrastructure. And the principle of it is that tourism puts a strain on their infrastructure beyond what their local tax base can support. And we think the challenges facing those small resort towns aren't really that different than the infrastructure challenges facing our farming towns. That farming puts a strain on our infrastructure beyond what our local tax base can support. So just as the resort municipalities designed to support municipalities to build their tourism infrastructure, we propose this agricultural municipality initiative to help small agricultural municipalities maintain and build infrastructure in support of agriculture and food security. And there's different conditions of to get the funding for resort municipalities. Every 3 years, they have to submit what they call a resort development strategy, which basically just details how they're going to spend that funding. And, we'd be able to do the same. The number of resort municipalities is limited to a manageable group of towns. And again, the same approach could be used for agricultural municipalities. The government would have to establish criteria to define what is an agricultural municipality. But kind of by a happy coincidence, the research we did, we found there's 12 municipalities in BC with small populations, so like less than 35,000, but more than 2,000 hectares of land in the ALR. And so there's 12, these are the 12 here. And as you can see, they're all over the province. There's kind of some obvious dividing lines here. So, when you look at population, that you see North Cowichan there is the largest, 32,000 in the last census. And the next ones up with a lot of ALR land are places like Mission and Vernon, and they have like 44,000 people. So that's a pretty clear dividing line there. And again, if you look at hectares, total hectares in the ALR, you see us in Summerland down at the bottom there with 2,000. You have 1,000 more than we do, but so it's. But then the next ones down are North Saanich and Campbell River, and they have just over 1,000 each. So again, a pretty kind of a clear dividing line. But there's different ways you can look at it. So here in Summerland, for example, we have 33 Class 9 parcels that aren't in the ALR. Our analysis doesn't capture those parcels. We just thought it'd be easier just to focus on the ALR because that's the provincial priority. That's a provincial policy is the ALR. So, but either way, work needs to be done to establish the funding formulas and all that sort of stuff. In resort municipalities, it's just based on the number of hotel stays in each place, and probably it's more complicated for agriculture, but I don't think it's impossible. Back in April, three mayors, myself, the mayor of North Cowichan and the mayor of Pitt Meadows, we went to Victoria. And that's the three of us there. We met with Lana Popham, the Minister of Agriculture, and she was really to discuss the whole proposal, the idea. We'd already submitted to the government. She was very supportive, but of course, like with everything with the province these days, there's no money. But we're still hoping we can start a program even with a token amount that could be increased over time. Mainly because I think with Minister Popham, we've got a real potential champion here to make this work. And if we could get some sort of program in place now before the next provincial election, that would be the goal. It's much more difficult for if there's a change of government. It's always more difficult for a new government to scrap they're less likely to scrap an existing program than to say no to a new one. So that's kind of the goal. And and the next steps. So first of all, Minister Popman has agreed to meet with all the mayors and councillors from all the municipalities at UBCM this year. I don't know if I've organized a meeting of different agricultural municipalities the last couple of years, and Minister Popman did attend last year. I'm not sure if anybody. I think some people from Vanderhoof came to that. So she's agreed to come and meet with us again. And before then, we need to further develop the proposal, flesh it out a little bit more. And really, we want it to shift from being Summerland's initiative to the groups, to the larger group initiative. You know, trying to get together a kind of a coalition of the willing. And so what I'm doing is basically in these presentations I'm making, if this is something you think that you would be interested in advocating for, the first thing we're kind of asking all the municipalities if they would do is to conduct a similar analysis that we did to look at the tax they receive from their lands in the area versus the costs to provide service to those municipalities. Now, what we did, it was a pretty simple formula, really. We just took our total number of parcels in Summerland. So there's over 6,000 of them. And then we looked at how and divided by the number of parcels that are in the LR. And that equated to 6.38% of all our parcels are in the LR. And so then we just looked at our general fund operations budget and took 6.38% of that. And that's how we came up with that $2 million. We also allocated a little portion of for the amortization of roads because roads are kind of expensive to reconstruct, and we thought an annual allocation was warranted. But that's basically all it is. It's a very high level look at it, but it gives us an idea exactly what we're looking at. It doesn't include things like garbage and recycling collection because those are covered by user fees, and I know in some places garbage is collected by the regional districts. It doesn't include utility. Water infrastructure is obviously important for agriculture, but what we're talking about here is the gap in property tax, and water, of course, is covered by utility bills. And water is so different. It's such a complex issue that's so different from different parts of the province. So there's other ways. We need to address water in other ways. But I think the main thing is that we all calculate however we calculate, we all do it the same way, and so that we're comparing apples to apples, like we say here in the Okanagan. But it's and then the idea is if we could get all these, if we could do this analysis, and again, it's not difficult, and our finance staff would be happy to work with your finance staff to provide the spreadsheets and everything to show how we did it. We would then collate that information and provide it to Minister Popham in advance of our UBCM meeting, and so give us something to start with, and it would give us an idea of where how similar we are or not, and I think just by doing that analysis, you'd be able to tell whether this is a program that would be beneficial for you or not. Really, I'm just zooming through this, but that's kind of the gist of it, and I think it's gaining momentum, and I just think if we kind of all work together collectively to advocate this, I think we can we could I think there's some momentum building, as I said, and I think something could work. Much like as we were speaking when we were speaking on the phone, Your Worship, about the Resourcemen and Municipalities Coalition. I know that was like 10 years of lobbying, I believe, before that actually came through, and I think the same sort of thing is happening now, we see what happens. Or the Resource Benefit Alliance, I guess. I get your two mixed up anyway. Sorry about that. Anyway, that's all I have, and happy to take questions.
One question I have, or not question, but maybe suggestion is, thinking about since our phone conversation is I would highly encourage you to get hold of Ron Poole and see if you can have a chat about the RBA process and how we got to where we are. Being conscious not to share any in-camera information from the RBA, but you know, there was some provincial funding there that helped out in those formative years. So I would really encourage giving him a call and seeing how that went and steps that could be taken that way.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I don't have any questions from the rest of council, and we had a really good chat. But what we'll do, we will discuss this in the future, and we will be in touch, and we'll make sure we've got something to you before UBCM.
Okay, appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Your Worship.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay, with that, we will move on to 5.2. Mr. Kulchar.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, councilors, and staff. You may or may not know, my name is Alex Kulchar. I serve as a director on the Chaco Valley Exhibition Society, and I also serve as a chairperson of the Chaco Valley Exhibition, the Fall Fair. And I'd like to, first of all, start out by saying we really appreciate the support we've gotten over the years from the district. And also, in my role as chairperson, I take full responsibility for missing the deadline for the grant and aid application. So our grant writer didn't execute, and I didn't check up on it, and we had a change in staff, so our staff lady was unaware. So I take responsibility, and we really count on the support of the district, the stage and the washrooms and the bleachers in particular, and so many other things. But I mean, I'm kind of throwing myself at you. And
All good. It happens. Yeah, we try and keep it the same date, Halloween, every year, just to make it consistent for that getting it in, right? But we're happy to hear your, to go through the process now and see what we can do.
Okay, I would really appreciate that. And I should have clued in, because in 2024, I remember I was here in the fall giving a presentation, and then it just kind of year off. So my apologies. I hope we can work it out or get something done. Any questions?
Perfect. Any questions from council for?
All right. Well, my apologies, and we'll do better. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. So we need a resolution to do anything from council. You just make a resolution.
So are you asking for the? Sorry, your application form said the $2,500 as well, but so are you just asking for the in-kind, because the budget's already been passed? So are
I think the in-kind, we'd be happy.
Okay.
We'd be very happy with the in-kind portion.
Okay. So I suggest the resolution would be that council approve the grant and aid application for the exhibition, for the stage, washrooms, bleachers, and I'll look up whatever else, whatever equipment we generally give them in the past.
I'll make that resolution.
Okay.
Seconder? Discussion. Go to me then. Do you know who you have lined up to run the sound out there?
Jack Jackson's coming again.
And he wants our sound system, or is he bringing his own?
He brings his own.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So we could strike that off the list then, hey? And
Yeah.
that-
No, he's self-contained.
Yeah, no, that just, that's probably the most complicated out of the asks,
Yeah.
so if we can strike that one. that
No,
would-
he's kind of a handy guy to have up there.
Yeah,
because he fills a few, checks a few boxes, so.
We're good with that as a friendly?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, any other questions, comments? All in favor? That's carried.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You too. Thanks for coming in. Okay. 6.1, arena fees amendment by law. That's you? Okay, sorry, I just turned your mic off. There we go.
That's okay. So this amendment is for deposits. When the booking clerk used to always have to take deposits for every time a group used the arena. So we want to switch it to user groups that use it on a regular basis over the course of the winter, only provide one at the beginning of the year. That's the gist of it.
That's
So
the
it's
gist,
for 3 readings.
Seconder? Any discussion? Go ahead, Councilor Vandola.
Just looking at the rate that we're looking at there is, do we know if that's going to be sufficient?
The $500?
Yeah,
Yeah, well, they have insurance for everything else, right?
Yeah.
So if something does happen, they have insurance and we have insurance.
okay.
But the most damage we've had over the last couple of years in the dressing rooms probably is around $500. Some of it's been like broken drywall, broken
Right.
mirrors and stuff. So
Okay. Want to make sure that we're not underselling
Under- yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, no, for sure. Any further discussion? All in favor? That's carried. Okay, 6.2, 2026 paving program. Do you want to press and it'll show up on me where to, oh, we're on direct speak anyway. Perfect.
Okay, this one here is through the budget, but there has been an increase. The contracts came in over budget, and this is for the paving award to Terrace Construction, and we're asking for an increase of the budget of 25,000 to offset the dollar value of the $118,327.44, but also a little bit of a contingency, just in case there are some unforeseens.
Okay, we have a recommendation there. Second,
I'll second.
any discussion? Is that something we could take out of RBA?
Yep, we should be.
Might be a nice pool to grab it from. Right? All in favor? It's carried. Okay, 6.3, release from in-camera.
this is from the in-camera council meeting on June 22nd. The motion was to the collective agreement be approved and that this information be released from in-camera. So it is just here for, mostly for public information, releasing it from confidential.
Seconder? Any discussion? All in, oh, sorry, Mr.
So that's, you were saying a while ago, there was a few little details to work out. That's all been done and it's completely, this means it's
Fine.
finished. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
All in favor? That's carried. Okay, we have council priorities on there.
Oh, 6.4.
Oh, 6.4.
So in June, on June 8th, council passed a resolution direct awarding O'Brien training for the heavy equipment training program. At that time, we weren't able to release what grant it came under because they hadn't announced it yet. Now they have, so we are changing the resolution just for our history and our paperwork and our threads to show that it came from the Community Workforce Response Grant. So the recommendation is just to rescind the old June 8th resolution and replace it with this one. Yes, so it's just naming the name of the grant instead of saying provincially funded. It actually names the grant.
I'll move that.
Seconder? Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. And that was released today. I don't know if everybody saw the press release on it, so that's a good thing. Okay, now we're there. Council priorities on there as always. We have the June crime stats. Any comments coming out of there? Again, as always, the numbers are so low, it's hard, like one or two here or there makes a completely different story, right? So. Okay, and then we have the building permit register. Any questions there? Primary care facility makes it look a lot better.
Put the numbers up fast.
Yeah. Don't get too many $26 million permits, eh? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to councillor items. And I'm going to start with Councillor Martins today.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. but We did a few things on behalf of Vanderhoof, and I'm not gonna repeat everything. Everybody knows the same stuff. We'll talk about it. Looking forward to talking to everybody individually a little bit tomorrow on our kind of our wind-up meeting with our committee. But just as far as the record goes, I think it was just turned out to be a great thing for Vanderhoof. You know, just our town itself and the way things, you know, have gone. It's just good to be part of something that positive. So, you know, you don't have to defend it to anyone. It's just everyone's accolades everywhere. So that's all I'm going to say for now as far as council items. That's it for me.
Awesome. Councillor Ballmer.
Same as Ernest, not quite as involved as Ernest was, but I was there as well and taking part in all of that. And then I'll let you expound on the press conference we had with SICAs on the following Tuesday. Or was it Monday? I can't remember.
Tuesday, yeah.
So, and that's all for me. That's all I've been doing.
Hey, Councillor Vandola.
Yeah, no, it's same, you know, at the centennial event, it was unbelievable, you know, the final numbers around 7,200 people in that field. That's staggering, actually.
Some of those.
One of the things that, you know, the hard work that the group had put in, but the thing I was wondering about is if we've heard anything from our local community, whether or not it was a pretty positive, you know, financially for them, you know, like Cozy Corners and the different retail outfits, if there was a big benefit for them having that many people. So it'd be good to hear back from them. Looking forward to that part. On July 6th, we met with BC Timber Sales at the Ministry of Forest office in regards to our community forest expansion application. Our original kind of thinking was it was something that we may not necessarily be interested in, but I have to admit, after meeting with Jeremy Greenfield, the timber sale manager, he kind of put my worries to rest. They have a completely different philosophy, I want to say, a way more flexible mandate than previous. And so I think that is going to make it a lot easier for us to consider incorporating some of their operating area into our application. So it's it was good. It was really great meeting. So that was it for me.
Good. Yeah, and I'll start with the Centennial. It was a really great event, and you know, there's not many things where all of council get to roll up their sleeves and really work hard on a project. And I'll commend you, Councillor Martins, for your leadership through, but it was great to see the whole group really double our efforts and get that done, dig in. I've yet to hear a negative comment from the community. And that speaks volumes. I know Co-op Hardware had a huge run on chairs, but I haven't heard from too many others. But you know, I'm sure it was a boon to the community having that many extra people in town, for sure. So once again, great effort, guys. I'm really proud of what was put forward. BCTS, that was an amazing meeting. Nice to be able to say BCTS without any other four-letter words attached to it. So you know, it's been a rocky road, but really it left me with a lot of enthusiasm that we can look at this better going forward. So that was really good. Yeah, the press conference with SICAs did great. Haven't heard too much back from the provincial government apart from the Minister of Indigenous Reconciliation and what's the other R in there? It'll come to me in a second. Anyways, I had a quick chat with him, and he said it was a great message to hear. So that was good to hear, and obviously it did reach the provincial government, which was the hope to get that message across. I was at the opening of the Nchako Industrial Park on Friday. Again, a good event, a great event to see those nations coming together, and really looking forward to how we can partner in the future for everybody's success. So it'll be good to get things going. Look like hydro trucks were zooming around there doing a lot of work getting ready, right? So that's going to be a busy place anyway for the next few years with that continuing there. And I think that's pretty much what I have right now. So yeah, we'll call that councilor items. Oh, no, there was one more. Rio Tinto. And I put out a letter. I forwarded out an email, sorry, to you guys, where they wanted to put an aluminum sculpture in town. And before I say thanks, but no thanks, we'll take the money towards a foundry. I just wanted to put it out there. That was my plan to say, because I don't think we need an aluminum sculpture anywhere near here. Awesome. Okay, and with that, I will declare adjournment. Thank you.